We're back with another best office chair list. This time it's PC Gamer's best office chairs for gaming. So, what do you guys think? Office chairs for gaming, usually the best way to go, right?
Well, they're just going to be more comfortable and more adjustable overall, typically. You're not going to be paying for extra bells and whistles for the looks, for the racing style bucket seat design. You're going to get a chair more focused on just being comfortable and the functionality instead of the way that it looks in your setup.
As we look at this first pick, this is the Secret Lab Noya chair. Now, would you guys like this as an office chair for gaming?
No, I wouldn't. This isn't a chair that I would pick for almost anything. All mesh design, the proportions of the chair aren't great. Armrests are too wide and forward for me. The seat is really uncomfortable for me. The lumbar is pokey. I just don't love the chair. So for me, this wouldn't be a number one pick.
It's not the best office chair for sure. The fact that we just look at this right now and it says reasons to buy highly adjustable, reasons to avoid that it has limited armrest adjustment. Like those things are so conflicting that I don't understand how it even gets to the pick that it's in. So for that reason alone, I would not recommend this as the best office chair, let alone really a chair to pick at all.
I mean, the proof is here. We did a little, I guess you could say a prank on the guys. We always like to give them a chair to sit in while we do these videos.
Oh, come on, guys. I'm not sitting in that chair. Wow. It's junk.
This is never going to work.
You can see by Greg and Ryan's reactions, they were not real happy to sit in the Noya chair while even shooting this video. So that says a lot. This is not a chair that we would ever pick as the best for long-term sitting. So if I would have put the gesture in your seat, would you have been much happier with that, I'm assuming?
Oh, of course, I wouldn't have moved it at all. I would have sat down and we would have shot the video.
So that's their best office chair for ultimate comfort. This isn't necessarily our top pick for office chairs, but definitely we wouldn't complain about this being a chair that's picked for a best of for anything, really.
No, it's good to see this in the list. I was a little bit nervous after seeing the Noya as the first pick. I was expecting to see a bunch of branch chairs, probably autonomous in there, and maybe a few racers mixed in. But seeing the gesture number 2, it's a good sign of things to come, and certainly a good gaming chair as well, because it's comfortable, recline back, it's good for relaxing, good for tasking. So great pick.
Yeah, again, like these guys said, not my first pick for chairs from Steelcase, but still a really solid chair, and a lot of you guys like it. It also says that it doesn't have lumbar support, though, but it does. One of the things about these lists that I'm concerned about is the fact that a lot of people don't actually know what they're talking about in the list, and you could see that by the number 1 pick, but at the number 2 pick, that's fine for me. If you actually want to find real help, you should definitely check out our office chair cheat sheet list, link down in the description.
So in their section of how do they test chairs, it never really actually describes their testing process. It basically goes on quoting this risk management and ergonomic specialist that says, well, even though they recommend standing desks, that chairs are still okay, it says. They're not really telling us that they bought a bunch of chairs, that they personally tested them all. They're kind of brushing over what their actual procedures were. And you'll also notice as you go through all these picks, there's no pictures of the actual chairs in the office, which right away is like, so did they bring these in? Did someone test it?
There's a lot of stock photos. Feels like this is another list where they might be throwing darts just based on the next chair that I see. They missed on the first one. They happen to get a bullseye on the second. It looks like they're going to be missing the mark on the third one here if this is actually the next chair.
I just have to pull something out of this gesture where it says that imagine your butt and back are being perfectly cupped by the giant ever-loving hand. Like what? Like this is,
of the deity of your choice.
This is aggressive for me. I don't really like to think of anything like that. Anyways, next chair up on the list.
So we got the Office Star Pro Grid. So we have a version of this chair in the office, if not the exact one. Best affordable office chair, $270.
I can't believe, honestly, we've been doing this for almost 20 years at BTOD, that this kind of chair is still circulating around. I mean, these are terrible chairs.
It's your typical computer lab style chair that you'd see in mass, and they're not very good looking. The multifunction mech does a lot, but not comfort-wise. The standard recline just makes your knees smash into the desk. I do know this chair has a decent cushion. The armrests aren't great. The backrest isn't very comfortable. It's tough to argue with a best affordable pick when it's under $300 because the options aren't phenomenal, but there are several chairs that I would recommend here instead. Something like the Kalami Kirin or Atlas or the Takova. Chairs like that are going to be quite a bit better.
Another quote here, it says, doesn't look noteworthy initially, but customer reviews are consistently good. So it's almost like they're relying on what they're reading online for reviews rather than their own personal experience. There's not really a lot of like, I sat in this chair and I liked it. It's all like information you could find for yourself.
I know a lot of people in the gaming community want to have something that looks good for their setup. This chair doesn't. So I think I would pick something else that looks more modern.
So self-adjusting mechanism is the best category, and they picked the Office Master OM5. I mean, going with what you just said about a good-looking chair, I would say the OM5 is a pretty cool-looking chair. There's a lot of different customization you can do. But to me, the self-adjusting mechanism is probably the worst part about this chair.
And we sell the brand. Full transparency here. We sell OM. We love the Yes. We love the Affirm. We love the Truly. I believe we're removing the OM5 from our site if it hasn't already been, simply because of that self-adjusting mechanism. You have no way to adjust the tension, and the way that it comes from the factory is so loose that it's unusable. Like for me, I'm 5'9", I'm not heavy. I shouldn't have the leverage to just push the back and not be able to use it, but that's how it is. As soon as my back touches the backrest, I go all the way back. And if I want it to come forward, I have to physically sit up and just lightly put my back on the backrest. Everything else about the chair is good. The backrest, when it's locked, is comfortable. It has good arms. Like Robert said, it's a good-looking chair. It's priced fairly.
You can adjust some of that self-adjusting mechanism. It changes the pivot point, but it didn't fix anything. And so it always wants to go into recline, and it's super uncomfortable that way.
Well, it's kind of unpredictable, which like when you're gaming, that's kind of the worst thing you want. Like you don't know if I put just the tiniest bit more pressure, I might go completely back. And the alternative is to force yourself to sit up straight, and you're going to feel that in your abs, like holding yourself up. All right, so this pick, we're all going to agree we like this one. This should probably be the top pick. Best office chair with a gamer aesthetic. So this actually is an office chair, the Logitech Gaming Embody. So we know, Ryan, this is kind of your favorite chair.
One of my 3 S-tier chairs. Phenomenal pick. I like almost everything about it. Is it perfect? No. But in the world of gaming, this has to be at the pinnacle, at the top. I would have loved to have seen this as their number 1 pick. I know why it's not the number 1 pick. Most people can't afford it. It's a $2,000 chair, but there's a reason it's $2,000, and it probably should deserve that number 1 pick because it's going to be better for most people that buy it. Most people that get this thing are not going to want to return it. It's a phenomenal chair.
Whatever happened to like the best of something actually being the best, regardless of the price? I think that's the miss here. Yeah, Ryan's very honestly saying that he feels like it's too expensive for a lot of people because it is, but that's generally how things are when they're the best of anything. Like not everybody can have it. That's why it's the most sought after. This chair should be number 1 on the list. There's no question about it. It's not my favorite chair, but without question in this particular list, it should be number 1.
And this is a chair that you could tell they actually have more experience with. They've given you a lot more helpful information. Someone actually wrote a full review from the website. So it would have been nice if all the chairs got that full kind of treatment, but it makes sense that this is the actual gaming chair. They gave it the full review. So unfortunately, this list is, to me, is a little bit hard to trust, but at least they found a couple gems in there.
It's not the most egregious list we've seen. It's got some good picks. A couple of picks are questionable.
All right, chair score on this list, probably going to be a C-. If you actually want to find real help, you should definitely check out our office chair cheat sheet list, link down in the description. Thanks a lot for watching.